Hi everyone, Tag Tuesday number 31, and you can probably see my table has been hit by an enormous mess because I was trying to find things that are part of this week's challenge, which is gold. So I found all kinds of things that could be relating to gold, and I've got no idea what I'm doing. Well, you know what I mean. In general, I do have an idea what I'm doing, but okay, so I'm just going to pull out some things. So these little threads here, they're quite nice. I like those. I think that's the goldest out of all of those. This way I can move some things out of the way. That's a very yellow gold. Those golds are a bit different, aren't they? Move my tags back. Put my needles over there. So I've got, this is gold. This has got gold on it. This is bendy. It's got a wire in either side. That was from Lots O Lace around the corner. Beautiful stash that she's had for a long time. This is even this has got gold on it, so that might be good on top of that. And I love this little edge here too. Don't know. I've got some beads in there. What's in here? Right, there's some little beads. Finally, when it's not bead week, I have found beads, as you do. Oh, and a beading needle. Well, that's handy. Well, what about these? They look pretty gold, don't they? Some of those might be fun to use. Bit orange, but good enough. What else is in here? Oh, these little beautiful drops. Right, so there's some of those. Maybe I should get a little bit of a stash of beady things happening here. Right, these are quite tiny. All right, we got those, although these are the problem ones, I think, that you can't get. Oh, they went through. Oh, there you go. This must be found the right needle. Okay, I'm going to put the lid on that for now, just so I don't have a little accident. Got these ones. These are bigger though. They're very blingy gold. What else have I got? I've got a little stash of things. I think this is just little tiny chains. Oh, well, if you wanted bling, that will do it. And these ones these are more like rose gold. They're like little clasps for necklaces or something, or earrings, or I don't know what, something. Right, what else have I got? I found a little bit of this very tacky flapper material, whatever it is. It's got gold edging though. I think that's a bit tacky, but still from last week I nearly used this, the brooch week I nearly used this one. Still a bit gold. Don't know. Put this needle in there. Alright, we're building a stash of gold things. I think I noticed, oh yes, I saw this. This is tiny little weenie sequins that are gold with a little purple button. They might go with that. Oh, I found this button. That's very gold, isn't it? And this button, which is a bit antique-y gold. This looks like, where's it gone? This, that's gold. That's like something you'd put a bead in the middle to hold down. So it's like a little, probably it went over a bead on a necklace. But like this, it's like a little flower. That's nice, I like that. I think I saw another one in here. There it is. The same? Yes, all right, there's more gold. I went from thinking I had no gold to finding all sorts of gold. I don't know if I want more buttons. Well, that one's black and gold. Maybe 2 is definitely enough, but let's just see because we'll audition. Although I like that, that's flatter. No, that's black and gold. Well, that's got gold in the middle. That might be interesting. Oh, that's like a penny. Well, that's interesting. Not gold, not really gold. Here is one where more of the black is worn off. And what is it? That's a bird, I think. It's a bird with a branch of leaves in its mouth. So maybe it's meant to be, oh, let's turn it upside down. No, it's definitely, yeah, it's probably like a dove or something with the little olive branch for peace. Anyway, there's a few of those in there. Oh, that's super blingy gold. Well, there's white. Pearl. No, don't like that. Not today. Another day. Oh, I like that. All right, I liking these. I'm not really a great fan of these with the coat of arms or whatever on, although I do like that. And I think that will go with those. All right, let's chuck that. That's a bit bright compared to these. And I think that don't need that extra. It's a bit much. So I was trying to work out what I was putting. I've got some just offcuts of some batting. So let's start that. Lids are on, so I don't have a mishap. Escaped beads everywhere. No, I don't want to use that. All right, let's look at this. All right, so where's my scissors? Because I've been doing, oh, there's this too. Now, because I've been doing more mixed media stuff than I've done in quite a while and really having a great time, I feel like my outside of this frame that you can see is all mixed media and it's all piled up everywhere, brushes, and you know, I love it, but it's a lot messier than embroidery. So I'm just going to use my embroidery scissors to cut this because I don't know where my scissors are. They're underneath everything, just under. These ones cut all right, they're just not material scissors. So we're out of lockdown now. Might have said that last week because I've just been only doing my little rambly chats on my Tag Tuesdays now. But we're still not allowed to have people into our house. So that's still the case. So I've still got to wait and see if I can have my birthday party after they decide if we're allowed to have people at our house, which they might do. Also, they might not. So my friend had a way of getting round it by saying, well, she does work from home, so she can have a gathering because she works from home. So she's having a nice little meditation night tonight at her house with her clients. People just find all ways to get round these things. Might go, actually. Get a bit of... It'll only be a small group. It won't be a very big group. It'd be nice to just get a bit of woman time in. When you start dating someone and you've lived on your own for a while, you miss it. You miss having your girly friends, doing all the girly things. Not that it's a problem, because you can still do them. All right. Now, maybe I wanted the shiny side up. Maybe it's time to be creative and do something like that. That's nice, I like that. That could create some interest. Because I do love this edge. I love the edge of that. That's just beautiful. That's nice, isn't it? All right. All right, let's get a bit of this nice purple. And this nice, see, it looks more gold on the back. It's not meant to be though. Problem is if you put it over the white or the gold, it stands out more. Which do you think? All right, that's over the white, that's over the gold. Don't know, don't think it matters. If that's the case, we can just maybe put a bit, we don't need the tag anymore for a minute. Put a bit of this, so we've got that edge there. Let's just cut that down. So we've got the flower. I feel like I'm spending more time on the background than I am on thinking about gold blingy bling bling stuff. Alright, it's going to have to come to the edge, I think, of the batting. Let's get it along there. Trying to make it a little bit bigger than the batting so the batting's not poking out. Alright, now I think I'm going to cut it here. Get all that out of the way. Put this perhaps under that. Right, now the challenge is to make these edges a bit interesting. We can add all sorts of bits and pieces. How about I just start sewing it down first? Let's just see if this will fit into the needle. Okay, sometimes, oh that's good. Sometimes I've grabbed a needle and the eye is just a bit too small to get it through. This one's fine though, just straight stitched down. So last night I went to a new restaurant at Federation Square, so in Melbourne. Federation Square is kind of like the big area where the newer art gallery, so we've got two art galleries in Melbourne, and the first art gallery, the old one, is down on St Kilda Road, and it's the one that's got, if anyone's ever been here, that's the one that's got the big wall of glass with water trickling down it. And it's an old favourite, of course, for everybody. And everyone remembers being a child and going there and putting your hands on the glass and getting the water, you know, running down the glass onto your hands. So if you don't know what that, if that doesn't give you a picture, you can always go to the NGV website and have a look and see the Melbourne NGV National Gallery. And then they built one, I don't know how long Federation Square's been there, maybe, it could be 10 years at least. It could be less, it could, no, it's probably more. I lose my track of what year anything was. I just think, oh, it's been there for ages. No, I remember going there in 2008, so it's definitely maybe 15 or 20 years. Wow, where did that time go? Anyway, the NGV newer one, the art gallery at Federation Square, was designed to be able to have some more contemporary exhibitions. But at the moment, so anyway, I went with the guy and we went for a lovely walk. So there's a beautiful river and we went for a lovely walk along the river, and that is called Birrarong Ma, which is Indigenous wording. I'm not quite actually sure what it means, but anyway, it's Indigenous for, it's probably just the name of the Yarra River or something, but, you know, it was probably named the Yarra River, which is the main big river that runs through Melbourne, after a Mr. Yarra or something like that, which was totally forgetting that it was already had a name. Anyway, not going to be political here. The Yarra is known as the upside down river for anyone because it's so muddy it looks like the bottom of the river is on the top. So there's a fun Melbourne fact for anyone who's never been here and who doesn't know. Anyway, we had a lovely walk along. It was actually a sunny day. We're starting to get days that are hinting at spring now, which is the best time. Everyone wants to just get out in it and, you know, just really enjoy it. So nice. It was nice. It was still a little bit windy and the wind was a bit chilly still, so that was a bit crap. And then we went in the art gallery, and the point about the art gallery is that it, for an art gallery that I thought was going to be full of wonderful contemporary works, now there's nothing wrong with the old masters at all, and it's great to go and see them, but I'm a contemporary artist. I love contemporary. So it's nice to just go, if I feel like contemporary, I can just go to one art gallery and I don't have to wade through anything else. But there was an Impressionist exhibition on, which was interesting anyway. And not much contemporary, but I discovered, this is what I discovered, that the new guy doesn't understand contemporary art, which may be a problem in the future, who knows. But he does love and appreciate really amazing old art. I also discovered that he likes wooden furniture, you know, old. So there was some 1800s old tables and things like that, and he really loved them. So that was interesting. Not my style at all. Don't think we'll ever be able to live together. We have totally different design tastes. Anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Lovely guy. So anyway, you can walk through an art gallery with a new date or a new person and find out a lot about them. And I did. But Federation Square is built on a particular, you know, it's like Indigenous. There's a lot of Indigenous about Federation Square and a lot of trying to perhaps reclaim that area as being something that what am I trying to say? Just honouring. That's what we're about these days, isn't it? We're trying to understand the impact, perhaps, that white people have had on different countries when they've gone there and decided that they own it, when it was already owned before, or it wasn't owned, because most of those cultures don't feel that they own land. So the new restaurant that was there was it was called Big Essie, and it's run by a chef from up at, she's from up the top of Australia. So up the top of Australia we've got Northern Territory, So, sorry if you're already in Australia and you're listening to this and it's boring, but people who are overseas may not know much about this. And so up above Australia is the Pacific Islands. So she's a Pacific Islander, and she has created a restaurant. I think it's Mabu, but it's called Big Essie, which means big hugs or something. Big love, big hugs, big gratitude, big thank yous. And so she's specialising in Australian Indigenous foods, and so all the things on the menu that, you know, the savoury things. So there wasn't really any sweets much on the menu, but the savoury kind of things, I don't even recall if there was any sweets on the menu. It might have been a bit of a smaller menu because we've had lockdown and everything. And, you know, when you think about it, new businesses, she's running a business at Federation Square, which, let's face it, would probably cost an arm and a leg to rent. And so she's running this business, but what she's also doing is supporting people who are, I think, it seemed to me there were people working there that were being trained. So I think she's supporting the community of, you know, up and coming kind of waiters and stuff like that. So it was actually full of people waiting on tables. Anyway, the native ingredients, things like pepper berries and lemon myrtle and saltbush, and even though we have things like this in the garden, pig face, I didn't realise when I was growing up that was something you could cook and eat. So, you know, all this sort of stuff that we kind of just don't, you know, we take it for granted, don't we? There's stuff growing by the side of the road, but you don't think maybe actually that is a herb or it's edible. So I wanted to go there as soon as I heard about this place, so we did. We went there for dinner, and they had things like buffalo and crocodile on the menu. And of course, as I've said, the new guy is Muslim, so, you know, it's always a bit of a risk. You never know. You never know if he's going to be able to have the food anywhere, because of it has to be halal. But, however, he can have fish, and he can have vegetables, herbs. He can have everything. He just doesn't eat pork, so sorry bacon, you're off the list. And he doesn't have anything that hasn't been slaughtered in a ritual way. So it turned out when I asked that the lamb and the chicken, or pusan they were calling it there, because it's a particular chicken from up north. So I thought pusan was the French word for it, but who knows? Maybe it's a different variety of chicken. I don't know. Anyway, we had a smoky barbecued prawn entree, which had, so as I said, fish is fine for him, and so seafood is. So all seafoods are fine. Smoky barbecue prawn, like big giant, you know, one of those big giant ones, and it was cut in half, so we had half each. So we wanted to get lots of different things and share, so we could test them all out. We just love it. It's one of the things that we enjoy doing together, really. Anyway, I am waffling on, but you know, it's interesting, isn't it? Well, I get a bit passionate about talking about food, so why not? All right. Totally distracted from my blingy gold tag here. How's that going? Let's come off. that little bit of purple, that'll be really nice with the, because there's the purple with the gold here. Don't know about those. Oh, they might go somewhere else. Or maybe that's too much. Maybe that's too much. And we've got this too. Oh, talk about getting out of context. This reminds me of a marching band. So I don't know if it actually is really, should I put it there or not? I don't know. Just because it's got gold on doesn't mean it has to make the cut. No, I don't like it. No. Okay. All right, so where was I in my story? I'm going to just sew this on. So the prawn was really nice. It was really smoked, barbecue smoked prawn. Oh, it was delicious. And the little, I can't remember what it's called. There's a name for it when you cut things up really finely and you just put them sprinkled over the top. So the sprinkle, it's got a particular name, but you know, I can't remember. Wrote it down, can't remember it now. The sprinkle was made of abalone and scallops from up north, all from up north. So that was delicious. What was the other thing we got? We got pumpkin damper. Now damper in Australia is known as one of the earliest forms of bread that was made in Australia, and it was made by the swaggies, the swagmen, who were out camping and by the billabong or whatever they were doing. Camp, you know, there's an old song, Waltzing Matilda, Camp by the Billabong. A billabong is the Indigenous name for river or lake or creek, maybe just a creek. Right, what else am I doing? Distracted by waffling right along, waffly. Oh, you know what? I think I need to make a pattern with this because I think it's a little bit, I keep wanting to just do all these straight lines. That's, I mean, it's all right, isn't it? But it's also, get out of the thing, Christina. Whatever, get out of the fixed ideas. All right, let's make a circle. I don't know how I'm going to go doing that, but I don't even know if I can pin it down. Maybe I can. Maybe I can't. Oh my goodness. Anyway, the pumpkin damper. Back to, if I let my words happen and shut my brain off, I'll stop thinking too much about this and thinking I can't manage it. The pumpkin damper was really nice. It was, I'll tell you what it was served with. It was really amazing. Now, everyone, I don't know in America, but England probably, because my mum used to buy it, but golden syrup. Now, golden syrup is really yummy. So what they'd done and served with the pumpkin damper, which is really, damper is just really like mix some flour and water and a bit of salt and chuck it on the barbie, or chuck it in the fire if you're a swagman out in the bush. And it's pretty easy to make, but what they served it with was I'm really making a mess of this. I don't know how to do it other than to maybe start sewing a bit and just follow a line. Just get it down at one end. Come on. Yeah, so they'd blended butter and golden syrup, whipped it up together to make a butter that had like Australian bush golden syrup on it, which was amazing. Very nice. So I have, every time we go out anywhere, I always have instructions to see if I can make it. You know, I go, oh, that's interesting, I'd like to try that. And Huss always says, Huss his name is, short for Hussein, Huss, always says, you could make that? And he gets very excited. And I go, yeah, easy. Because really, when you think about it, how hard is it to blend some butter and golden syrup together? But gee, the effect was good. It was amazing. So I go, yeah, all right, I can do that. I'll try that. Challenge accepted. Because why not? But we also ordered a coriander chili kingfish. So we'd ordered 3 entrees, really, so we could just try. Unfortunately, though, because I think some of the staff was training, one of the guys, the guy that came up to serve us first, who really, honestly, was so uninterested in what he was doing, I thought, why are you doing a hospitality training course or something here when you obviously don't like it? You know, well, you just want to get nice smiles and bit of nice friendly, I don't know, no one has to be perfect, but come on, mate. Anyway, I don't know, we didn't get our kingfish, so that didn't work. Yeah, we didn't get our kingfish, so then we were both just too hungry, because 1 prawn between 2 people and 3 slices of damper just isn't enough. Admittedly, we could have probably had the kingfish and it would have been tiny as well, and it would have been a good tester plate, but not really dinner, if you know what I mean. So then in the end, we realised we were going to have to order the much more expensive, larger dinner plates. And that's when we found out that the lamb and the poussin were both halal, both ethically slaughtered. And so he wanted to get the chicken. He likes chicken, so he wanted to get the chicken, and I was like, oh. So in Somali culture, which is where he's from, Somalia, the men always pay for the women. It's a cultural thing, and so he does that with great joy and love and in gratitude. And it's really beautiful. So I kind of go, well, I probably wouldn't be here otherwise, because maybe I'm broke. So I like it that he does that. I'm being very old-fashioned. What's feminist? What's feminism again? Very old-fashioned about it. But I also really enjoy the fact that he gets a lot of joy from that. And, you know, he's learning about dating a white girl because he hasn't done it before. Poor guy. What are you in for? Anyway, the point I was making is that sometimes I realised that I really wanted to try the lamb, and I knew it was halal, so it was okay, but I'm so not used to being treated so well, like so kindly by someone who, if you want the lamb, get the lamb. It doesn't matter. The cost doesn't matter. And I'm not used to that. So I really wanted the lamb. In the end, I thought, you know what? I've got cash. I can offer. I can say to him, I've got cash if it's too much. I want the lamb. He is insulted if I say that. It's like, if you want the lamb, have the lamb. I'm getting it for you. I'm like, okay. And whenever I say anything like, oh, I've got some money anyway, if it's, you know, if we're spending too much, he goes, I don't understand white people. What is this? If a white girl asks me out for dinner, does she pay? Like, so he's just totally confused. And I'm like, oh, no, you can pay. Yeah, we'll do a lot more things if you're paying than if we're not. Otherwise we'll be standing home having TV dinners. Oh, I hope no total feminists are listening to this and going, oh my God, what is she doing? I just feel that after the last few years of having some pretty undesirable experiences with men, that, you know what, for a man to treat you like a princess and to really be very, very humble and kind in his approach and chivalrous is, well, you know what? I'm having that, thanks for now, whatever, however long it goes. I'm enjoying that, and I'm going to soak that right up and enjoy it for sure. What a beautiful man. Anyway, we did have the lamb and we did have the chicken, and it was a crunchy fried chicken, you know, like good old southern chicken. And the lamb actually came as if it had been cooked and then, you know what they do, they shredded lamb. Oh, I just looked at this upside down and went, maybe that's the right way up. Maybe it goes that way, maybe that way, maybe that way. All right, let's keep working on it this way. What else can we do other than buttons? No. I wonder if these will fit on this through here or not. No. Not with the string, with the thread. Yes, anyway, the chicken was really nice. So what did they have with the chicken? Oh, they had pickled watermelon. So it was a real sort of southern food, really, in a way. That one. Where are these gone? God, I can't keep my brain in. Brain, what are you doing? Put them in the trough. What do you reckon? Or down. No. Down here. Pickled watermelon. I have never had that before, but having some pickled watermelon with the chicken and what was with it. Now there's a particular, here's one of these big beads. It's dairy, so it's, what was it? Like a particular type of cheese. Labna or something. There. All of it together with the pig's face. Sorry, I got into my head there for a minute and forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, all of that together with the pig's face. And the salted, so saltbush is a particular coastal plant, coastal bush plant, and that was like deep fried. Delicious. That if I had to go there and have one plate of food, maybe I'd have the prawn, but the fried chicken, because the fried chicken was coated in Australian native, like lemon myrtle or something, a crumb with lemon myrtle or something like that in it. I'm probably getting all that wrong, but anyway, that's the point I'm making, is that it was amazing. And I'm sad we didn't get to try the kingfish, but all in all, we had a great time. And the most funniest part of the whole thing was that we ended up, even though I'd booked, we got put onto, you know, those tall tables that you have to sit on a higher chair up to, which for me and him, we're old, don't do that to us, you know, my knees hurt. But we managed it. Well, we did manage that. But because we were on a bigger table, these two guys came in their, maybe they were in their 30s or 40s, these two guys. Hard to tell when you're getting on. Oh, gosh, I've really gone into old lady mode. I tried to not be an old lady for so long, and now I'm just embracing it, you know, who cares? These two guys, and we knew one of the guys. We think he was a well-known journalist or something. Well, I don't know where he was from. We just both thought we knew him. Anyway, he's really friendly, these two guys. But they ordered periwinkles, which are like snails. So it must be up at Arnhem Land, you know, the snail. Periwinkles are the variety of snails. I used to collect them when I was little on the beach, without the actual animal inside, of course. Anyway, watching these two guys trying to get those, you know, if you just imagine it's a snail, it's just called periwinkle, but it looks like it's just a very green shell and not quite as big a sluggy thing as a snail. But anyway, these two guys had decided to brave that, and a bowl of them came out. And it was just really funny because they could not get them out of the shells. And so I really enjoy having a partner that when you go out, if the people right near you are having a moment and laughing, and you can both laugh and have a chat to them, and I love that. You know, none of this hide yourself away from people in the world. It's like, oh, it's so good to just, both of us, to just have a good laugh with these two guys about how hard it was for them to get their periwinkles out of the shells. And then this one staff member came along and tried to explain it, but didn't know what they were talking about. Then someone who did know came over, and, you know, it's amazing when someone knows what they're doing in a restaurant. She did know what she was on about, and she came over and showed the method. And you don't do it with a little tiny fork. You do it with like a skewer. And there was a method of scooping them out. So finally, he was quite excited once he got them. He actually finally got them out. He was like a little kid. He was like, I did it! It was so good. I love it. I love people being a bit childlike and innocent about things they've never done before. Isn't it wonderful? I don't know how old he was, 30s or something. But anyway, that was a bit of a highlight. And we had such a good laugh about that with those guys. And, you know, they're the things that make memories, aren't they? They're the things that you just go, oh, that was just so much fun. So much fun making a memory. And then we were full enough. We'd had enough. We had actually had enough because it was still a bit of a cold wind blowing, and it just hit that moment in Melbourne, as it does at the moment still, where you hit about, so we have early dinners. We don't like late dinners, and we'd gone there for dinner at 5, so it hit a moment where it was 6:30 or something like that, or getting to 7, and, you know, the cold comes in and the cold air. So that was, we'd had enough. We went back to the car, and they've got They always set up at Fed Square winter in July, you know, Christmas in July, and they set up these little igloos with little heaters inside, and they're made out of, they look like igloos, they're not made out of, you know, they're not frozen water, they're just plastic domes, but they look like little igloos, and people can go there and have some food, and you know, it's like each little igloo fits in its own little family party. So we went and had a look at that, and then there's a little tiny ice rink next to a bar. And yeah, so it's actually interesting because as a Muslim, Huss doesn't drink. And, you know, I'm not a big drinker. I'll have a glass of wine once in a while. But, you know, I also have been to places that he doesn't really like to go to a bar. And I understand, because I don't like, from past trauma, I certainly don't like being around a group of drunk men, so I would never go to a football bar or something like that, because that would just be bringing up some trauma. But yeah, like I realised I do like sometimes to have a sit and have a glass of wine. So that's going to be off the menu, but that's okay. We'll sort it out. This is all buttons. I feel like I've got to do a bit more beadwork. And that was the end of the night. Well, what a good date. How was that? That was a really good date, wasn't it? So much information in there. And today I was texting him and saying, I feel like I've had a couple of years of trying to date people that haven't really wanted to do anything I want to do, and now I feel like I've got this massive long list of things I want to do with a date. And he was like, well, same. He didn't date. He got divorced and didn't date for ages because he thought it was more important to look after his daughters and get them grown up. How's that? I tell people about this man and everyone just goes, where did you find him? How did that happen? And I go, seriously, one just has to be very, very thankful that prayers are answered, really. That's how I found him. Lovely. Anyway, I said I was going to do some beads, and now I've just sewn on yet another button. Oh, now I don't really like this here now, but maybe I've done the basics and I can go and do a whole heap of stitches over it and stuff. All right, maybe that's what I'm going to do. And besides, I've run out of my story now. Finished the story. Okay, now, little bead. Back through the sequin. And cast off so that if, as Anne says, if it breaks, you don't lose everything. It doesn't all unravel. Right. Sequin. Okay, I'm feeling all thumbs and fingers today. Right, and little bead. Back through the sequin. It's like frogs in the pond. There we go. Yeah, what they were these bits, weren't they? Back through the sequin. and so on. I will come back at the end with the end result. Okay, so here is the end result, and I'll just put a few little photos at the end, and that's it for tag 31. Bye for now. Have a great week.